All right. Let's see here. Okay. What's up, guys? I am on here, and cool. All right, we got a good crew. Awesome. Let's see if Ari made it. I noticed that the screen was launching for a second. Cool. So what I'm gonna do, so we're gonna structure this chat a little differently than the previous one.
Why don't I already washed those? All you have to put it in the dryer, please.
I'm gonna mute everybody. Hold on a second. Okay, everybody's muted. So I think we are all muted. Okay, good. Okay, someone's doing laundry. Awesome. What's up? How's everyone doing? Good to see you. And I don't know if anyone, I know a few of you caught the Facebook Live check-in that I did last week, about a week ago. I'm gonna start doing those more often. So I took a survey a couple weeks ago to try to see what everyone's schedules are like and kind of when the best times for everyone would be for me to do more regular kind of Q&A check-ins. And because we have an amazing worldwide audience, everyone's times are all over the place. I tried to put a whole spreadsheet together to figure out what the best times would be for everybody. And it didn't really have any consensus, as you could imagine. So I'm just gonna be doing sporadic check-ins on Facebook Live. And it's going to be all over the place in terms of time and day, to try to make sure I can check in enough to kind of hit everybody. And then these monthly chats, we're keeping these consistent. So you have these times well in advance. I've been trading off between 11 a.m. and 6 p.m. my time. Fred, I know that you are on the other side of the world. I think it's like, what, 3 in the morning there or something like that, right? Typically. 7, 8, oh, it's only 9? All right. 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay. Cool. So yeah, these regular monthly sessions are going to stay consistent, trading off between 11 a.m. and 6 p.m. Pacific time. So whatever time that is for you. And then the Facebook ones will be regular kind of check-in Q&A sessions. And those will be more, I want to say last minute. And we'll just kind of see, you know, as, so just kind of pay attention to your notifications there. Okay, so, so I'm learning these chats here. Okay, great. Okay, so for today, so my previous sessions here have been typical, just like Q&As where we kind of go through everybody's questions that you're having, and we're going to do that at the end. But what I want to touch on first, I want to have a conversation about this, and I want to kind of keep the conversation, at least for the first bit, about the topic today. So, you know, Sonic, Kathy and I were chatting, we're like, you know, it'd be good if we could kind of cover some topics, like specific topics in these monthly check-in sessions, and keep it more up to date. So something that wasn't in the video lessons, because this is kind of an ever evolving, constantly changing, up-to-date thing, which I've been paying very close attention to. And if you're on my Ari's Take email list, you've been seeing all the stuff that I've been working on. And that front is Spotify playlists and blog promotion, research, contacting, all that stuff. So what I want to do, so what we're going to start with is, and just to give everyone a background on both of these things. So Spotify playlists are kind of the hottest thing right now, in terms that every artist on the planet and every label on the planet, from the majors to the indies to you know, self-released artists, DIYers, indies, everything. Spotify playlists are like the holy grail of the moment. And there's a bunch of Spotify playlist plugging companies out there. And I've been researching a bunch of them. And if you've read my latest Ari's Take, you know that I tested one out that wasn't legit. And Spotify removed the album from that. So it's all over the board because of this. But to break it down, what Spotify playlists are, and I'm going to post I'm going to post an article that you can, I think Sana actually already posted that article from her check-in, but I'll post it again on, just to give a breakdown on kind of best practices on submitting the playlist. But what Spotify playlists are, is there's basically 3 tiers of Spotify playlists. And oh, I want to say, if at any point during this lesson, I guess, during this chat, that you have a question about something I just said, please raise your hand in the like click the raise hand button, so I'll see it pop up on this participants window here. If you raise, I'm only seeing like a handful of you right now. Actually, I can probably go gallery view. So don't go like this. I might miss you, but click the raise hand button on the thing there, and then we will. Then I'll call on you and then can clarify something. Okay, so there's three categories of Spotify playlists. The first one, which most people understand if you're a Spotify user, are the official Spotify edited, curated playlists. So there are Spotify editors, or I should say playlist editors, hired by Spotify. They're employed by Spotify. And what they do is they create playlists. There's a person that is just basically making a playlist. And these are the ones that say by Spotify. So if you're a Spotify user and you go onto Spotify, even if you're like, you use Apple Music or something else, I would encourage everybody to download Spotify, get the desktop app. Don't just go to Spotify.com, like actually get the app and put it on your phone, and you should be using it. Even if you prefer Apple Music, Spotify playlists are incredibly powerful, and it's the #1 streaming service in the world. I should say like interactive streaming service next to YouTube. So you definitely should be familiar with Spotify if you're not. But most of you, I would imagine, are. So if you go on your Spotify desktop app, and you look on playlists, or I should say the browse feature, you'll see all the different categories and the genres and the moods. They've categorized a lot of these playlists by mood. So if I'm just gonna do it right now. So I'm gonna go to Spotify, I'm gonna go to browse on the top left. So I'm on the desktop app. So I've actually downloaded this app from Spotify. And I'm gonna look at, so overview, there's charts, there's genres and moods. So I'm gonna click on genres and moods. And then we have hip hop, mood, pop, country. So there's genres, but then there's focus, there's chill. So let's see there's electronic dance, there's R&B, there's party, there's rock. Let's see, there's jazz, roots and acoustic, indie, romance. Let's see what romance is. That's interesting. So I'm gonna click on romance, and there's acoustic love. There's You and Me. These are the names of these Spotify playlists. There's Silk Sheets, and the description of that playlist is sensual, silky sounds for the sheets. Imagine that. That has 188,866 followers. Makeout Jams, that has 107,000 followers. Love Pop, that has 1.6 million followers. Love Songs and Chill, that has 195,000 followers. Let's look at Love Songs and Chill. I actually haven't done this yet. So these are, okay. So, and if you look at, let's see here. Actually, I'm going to just keep on looking. I'm going to look at some of these. So, Love Pop. Actually, I went back to Love Pop. That is 1.6 million. Love Pop, you'll see if you click on it, it says created by Spotify. Acoustic Love. So most of these are actually going to be created by Spotify. Acoustic Love, created by Spotify. Now, this is the category that I was talking, Silk Sheets, created by Spotify. These are the official Spotify playlist jams. So Cheryl Diane said French Bistro is great for a dinner party. Cool. Let me look at what French Bistro is. I love that name, French Bistro. Okay, so that is, okay, we'll get to this playlist. I'm glad you brought that up. That's in the second category of playlists in just a second. So back to the, I'm on this like romance thing here. Let's do like, okay, Acoustic Love, 1.2 million. And that we're talking, there's artists on here. Actually, most of them I haven't heard of. And this playlist has 1.2 million followers. So this is a playlist created by Spotify. That means Spotify playlist editors chose to add these songs to this playlist. They are employed by Spotify. That's category number 1. And this is the one that everyone talks about trying to get on these playlists because they are very powerful playlists. If you get included on one of the, so I'm going to just click on the first artist here, Fem Lily. And her song is Top to Toe. And Fen Lily, that's spelled Fenne. I've never heard of her. I don't know if you've heard of Fen Lily. Because she has this song Top to Toe included on this Acoustic Love Spotify playlist, she has 17.6 million streams on this song Top to Toe. Now, Fen Lily, and this is, let's look her up here. I'm going to see who Fen Lily is because I actually have never heard of her. Maybe she's international, maybe she's big somewhere else, or maybe she's just an indie artist that got included on this playlist. So let me look here. Fen Lily. Here we go. Lily. So she has, get this, Fen Lily. She is, she's from Bristol. Okay, so, you know, she's in the UK, England, and she's from Bristol, and she only has 4,000 likes on Facebook. Okay, let me just hit this point real quick one time. Fen Lily, who we just found is on the Acoustic Love Spotify playlist, has her song Top to Toe, which has 17.6 million plays. 17.6 million plays. Now, anyone, if you were to tell somebody, oh, Darren says, what playlist are you on right now? Okay, I'm on the playlist that's called Acoustic Love. So actually, if you're on Spotify, you can just type in Acoustic Love, and this playlist will pop up so you can take a look at what I'm doing right now. Okay, Acoustic Love. Fen Lily, her song Top to Toe, 17.6 million streams on the song. And if you were to say to somebody, oh yeah, I got 17, you know, this person has 17 million streams, everyone would be like, oh, that person must be a star, or man, why haven't I heard of her? Or, you know, this person is, you know, they must be famous, or they must be selling out clubs or whatever. Now, we can't, this is where it becomes a numbers game, and why you can't, it's like smoke and mirrors numbers game, and these numbers don't actually translate to real fans. Now, okay, Ricky asked, how do you know how many streams she has? Okay, I clicked on her name. So I'm on the Acoustic Love playlist, and if you click on, under artists, click on Fen Lily, and I click Fen Lily, and then you can see everybody's top 10 most popular songs in their plays. Those are all public. Now, everybody here, you can go to your Spotify artist. You can go to spotifyartist.com, spotifyartist.com, and you can register your own. Most of you know this already. You can, which you all should do this if you haven't done it. You can log in to your own Spotify account and see all your analytics on the back end. But to see other people, you can just click on their Spotify profile, and you'll see their top 10 most popular songs. Now, she only has 4 released, so we're just seeing the plays of the top of her only 4 released songs. Yeah, Christina says she only has 2,877 followers on Instagram, but she's verified. So, you know, she doesn't have that many fans right now, okay? She has a lot of streams, and she clearly has some support, whether it's in management or label. Let's see what let's see, I'm gonna click on her About section on Facebook. She has, she's booked by ATC. It doesn't look like she has a label, but she has a manager. And oftentimes managers can get you verified if they have a connect to Instagram. But regardless, here's somebody who has nearly combined, she has 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, almost 26 million streams on Spotify. 26 million streams on Spotify. That's insane. That's an incredible number. And she only has 2,877 followers on Instagram, and she only has about 4,000 likes on Facebook, okay? So this is showing that you can have insane streaming numbers, and that doesn't mean you have insane amounts of fans. So she has 26 million streams on Spotify, and she has a total of about 4,000 fans or people, and who knows how engaged these fans are. Like if I go to her Facebook page, I'm just going to click on the home section, you know, her latest post. Let's see, home from the hottest tour has 62 likes. Okay. So, you know, that's okay. Fine. 62 likes. She has another one from October 25th, 9 likes. Or one before that has 28 likes. Let's check out the engagement on her Instagram. Okay. Fen Lily. Here we go. Okay. Her latest photo has 228 likes. One before that, 253 likes and no comments. 1 comment there, no comments there, 0 comments. So her engagement is actually really low on Instagram. Just because she's getting a couple hundred likes, she has no comments. So, okay, here's an artist who is definitely, you know, emerging. She only has 4 songs released, but she got included on the Spotify curated playlist. And we can talk about how this happens. And because she got included on at least this playlist, actually what I'm going to do now is we can see this. If you click on the About tab on Spotify, so if you go to anybody's Spotify profile and on the desktop app and you click on About. So before I was under Overview, now I'm clicking on About. So if you're not doing this with me right now, you can do it later, but if you are doing it, check out About. And then on the right side, it says Discovered On. So these are the most popular playlists that they were discovered on. So we're looking at Coffee House Music, all one word, and that says that she had 78 or almost 79,000 listeners from that playlist. Even though that playlist only has 400,000 followers, let's see which song. It's probably the same song. Let's see, I'm going to scroll down to Fen Lily. Yep, Top to Toe. So same song was on that playlist. Morning Acoustic. Let's see what Fen Lily song they put on that one. ABCD. Oh, they put a different song in that called Bud. And then I'm clicking on Acoustic Love. That's the one we were just looking at. Okay. Then she's also on Most Beautiful Song. She's also on Afternoon Acoustic. So Spotify is giving her a ton of love. All right. She has gotten songs on some incredible playlists. These playlists are huge. Most Beautiful Songs has 1.3 million followers. Acoustic Love, like we were looking before, 1.2 million followers. Morning Acoustic has 1.1 million followers. Afternoon Acoustic has 2.5 million followers. So she's got included on all these playlists. Yes, sorry, there you go. Fen Lily is how you spell her name. And so she's got a ton of love from Spotify, doesn't have that many fans, okay? So I want to make that point again, is that, you know, fans and streams are now mutually exclusive, whereas before, the old industry was, before streaming existed, when we were just in sales, whether it was CD, vinyl, cassette, or downloads, fandom came first. And then purchasing came second. So first you became a fan of the song, or you saw them live at the show, or whatever. Someone, you know, played their music for you and you became a fan first. Then you bought their album, or you bought, you know, downloaded their song on iTunes or something like that. That's how it used to work. Now it's flipped. Now in the streaming world, the listen comes first, streaming comes first, fandom comes later. So we're looking at this person that has 26 million streams and 4,000 fans. Very few fans, relatively. So as we see here, this person has tons of streams, not many fans, okay? So you don't get discouraged or confused when people are touting their streaming numbers, because there's also, that goes the flip side. There are people that can pack venues and their Spotify numbers are not that impressive. You know, that there's something, so like personally, I've built up, you know, my crowd more in the grassroots way, and been able to pack venues, and my streaming numbers are not what Fen Lily's are, not even close to that 26 million mark. But I would argue Fen Lily is going to have has a very difficult time bringing anyone to her shows, with only 4,000 Facebook likes worldwide and only 3,000 Instagram likes worldwide with very little engagement, okay? So that being said, we don't want to confuse stream numbers with fans. That being said, she's getting paid on those 26 million streams. She is making money, okay? You don't just need fans these days to make money off of your recorded music. Obviously, we've been discussing a lot with sync licensing. You can make a lot of money sync licensing with virtually no fans. That's a whole other world, the sync licensing world, which we talk a lot about. Now, there's artists, a lot of artists that I know who are making very good money just doing sync licensing and can't bring 50 people to their shows locally. And that's a thing. That's totally fine. There's nothing wrong with that. That's just how they've structured their career. Similarly, there's these people like Fen Lily, who is doing very well on Spotify and streaming and does not have many fans right now. Now, she's a young artist and she is emerging. Now, I would imagine her manager and their team and her distributor, they're positioning her to build fans. They're not just stopping with the Spotify angle. So now the thing is yes, you can make money. So I'm going to just crunch the numbers real quick. So now this person with 4,000 Facebook likes, very little engagement, 26 million streams, 26 million times about a half a penny a stream is what it averages out to, 0.005. That can't be right. Yeah, that is 26 million times 0.005, $130,000, okay? So Fen Lily has made about $130,000 on Spotify income. So when you're reading the headlines of people complaining about how there's no money in streaming, not accurate. There's a lot of money in streaming. And Fen Lily, who has 4,000 Facebook likes, 3,000 Instagram followers, probably can't pull 50 people in her hometown, has made $130,000 on Spotify. Not to mention, I can't see her Apple Music numbers or what those numbers are looking like over there. So this happens. This is happening. And so Spotify playlists are definitely something to look at. Now, okay, that's tier one. The Spotify, or not tier one, but also the three categories. That's category number one of playlists that are on Spotify right now. And the way that you get on these official curated Spotify playlists is, well, it's very difficult. Here's a way that Spotify playlist editors are getting pitched. And let me just lay this out, but this is not what we're going to mostly focus on today. But I do want to give you the education of what is happening and how this works. And then the strategies that we're going to discuss and what your homework and assignment is going to be, and to give everyone the kick in the butt to get this Spotify playlist plugin rocking. That's going to be we're going to talk about that a little bit later. But just so you understand how people are getting on these Spotify playlists, official curated by Spotify, is, okay, Spotify playlist editors. So the Spotify team comes together once a week, and they discuss all the new releases coming out and all the new music that they've been getting pitched. Now, who are they getting pitched from? Okay, there's three main avenues of who is allowed to pitch Spotify playlist editors and getting in contact with them. Now, everyone tries to pitch Spotify playlist editors. I do not advise the strategy today of trying to hunt down Spotify playlist editors, like we've talked about music supervisors or something, and contacting Spotify playlist editors directly. Don't do that. 2 years ago, you could have done that, and that was a successful strategy 2 years ago. Today, right now, November 6th, 2017, not an advisable strategy, because I've heard from some of these Spotify playlist editors, and they get they average 1,000 emails an hour, all right? Because everybody is pitching them. Everyone is pitching them now, okay? Because they're the most coveted people. Spotify playlist editors are the new radio DJs. They are the new radio programmers. So they're the most powerful people in the industry right now. Look at Fem Lily got made $130,000 because she got included on 5 Spotify playlists. That's incredible, okay? Of course everybody wants to get on Spotify playlists, and of course everybody is pitching playlist editors. So I do not advise that we waste time trying to find out who the Spotify playlist editors are and pitch them. Waste of time. It's not going to work. Now, that being said, one of our classmates, actually, Anna Lauby, she was very creative about it, and I think she mentioned in the class, so I can say this. I didn't write about her publicly because she didn't want this public on Digital Music News when I was writing about it, but she did mention in the class. The way that she did it, she went to a conference, a music conference, and there was a Spotify playlist editor sitting on a panel. Afterwards, she went up to her, wrote her name and 3 song titles on a napkin, I think, and handed to her and said, like, hey, the playlist that you were talking about that you run, I think my music would work really well on them, and here's my name and the songs. Obviously, you don't hand a Spotify playlist editor a CD. That's not what they do. So she handed her a napkin or a card or something and she hand wrote her name and then 3 song titles. And the following week, those 3 songs were included on big Spotify playlists. And so she has been doing very well in terms of how that now whoopsies. Let me find this here. So yeah, Anna, right. Or that maybe that was that one song, because she did it for Spotify and then she did it for Deezer. She's got 4.5 million streams on one of her songs, 300,000 on another, 100,000 on another. She's in the class. Okay. So, that's the only way that I would advise you to contact Spotify playlist editors directly, is if you see them in person and you have a real connection with them, but don't try to email them or tweet them or Facebook or Instagram or anything like that. And the way that she got on Deezer playlists was even more impressive. And I'm going to talk about that. We'll talk about that at the end. Remind me. Okay. So, how it works, how these Spotify playlist editors are actually being pitched. There's 3 avenues, like I was mentioning before. They get pitched by distributors, labels, and managers. And they have manager reps, label reps, and distributor reps. And these Spotify contacts, they talk to the managers every week, labels every week, distributors every week. And then the manager reps, the label reps, and the distributor reps all come together and they talk every week. It's like, okay, what are the new songs coming out? Now, if they hear the same song by 2 or 3 of those parties, those songs are definitely getting looked at and considered for playlists. So let's say if you have a manager with a contact who regularly talks to Spotify, a distributor who regularly talks to Spotify, and a label, that's 3, and they all 3 pitch you that week, you're definitely getting looks. It's not guaranteed, because at the end of the day, the playlist editor has the final say. They can include you or not include you. If you have 2 looks, if you have you don't have a label, but you have a manager and a distributor pitching you, then a very, very good chance. And even if you have just one person pitching you, one entity, the distributor or the manager or something like that, or the label, you're still way ahead of everybody else who doesn't have somebody pitching them directly to Spotify. You need one of those entities to be considered off the bat for these playlists. Now, that's not to say that people who don't have anybody pitching them don't get included on these playlists. They do. They absolutely do. But they have much less control over that, and it's much more random, but it's also much more based on analytics. So I know that sounds contradictory, but Spotify looks at all the analytics of everything, and if something starts bubbling up somewhere, so if you start rallying people around one of your songs and that song starts to get hundreds of streams a week, then it jumps a tier in the Spotify algorithm, and then it'll get looked at. So we're going to come back to that algorithm in just a little bit. So that's category number 1, the created by Spotify playlist. Does that make sense to everybody? Actually, this is great if you just like write in the chat here versus doing the raise hand thing, because we're going much quicker that way. Okay, cool. Ricky says yes. Thanks, Ricky. Okay, that's category number 1, created by Spotify playlists. Category number 2 are the user-generated playlists. User-generated playlists. Now, this is created by anybody except Spotify. So when we were looking on that playlist category before, which was, I was on the, where'd it go here? Under the romance section, and I was looking at I feel like I was looking at Love Songs and Chill? Yeah, Love Songs and Chill was created by Filter Nederland. And Filter is actually, it's a user, but it's run by a label. So the Filter playlists, so Filter Spotify playlist, there are all the majors. Each major has, actually, let me pull up my thing. Spotify playlist, here we go. Each label, so Universal, Warner, and Sony, each have their own playlists networks, and they create their playlists. So we have Filter, here we go. So Filter, Digster, and Topsify. Let me just write these in the thing here, just so you can see. If you see these playlists created by any of these, whoops, where are we? Here we go. If you see playlists created by these 3, you know that these are run by the major labels. Now, that's not to say that these playlists only include major label artists. They're just run by the major labels, and they've created their own playlist networks. But this is also, let's talk about that French Bistro that you suggested before, French Bistro music. So who suggested that before? Oh, Cheryl, okay. French Bistro. Yes, French Bistro is created by Jim Tierhan. Okay, Jim, this is a great example. Okay, this is a user. This is just an average user. He's not an artist. He's not a label. He's not an, it just seems like he's just a person, just a user that created this playlist. He's created, it seems like he has created a total of well, just a few playlists, actually. He's following Rolling Stone's 100 Greatest Hits. And how I'm doing this is like, I went to, if you want to follow along, I typed in French Bistro in the search thing at the top left. Then I clicked on French Bistro Music, which is this playlist. And then it says created by Jim Tierhan. So I clicked on his name, Jim. And then I see his profile, his user profile. He's not an artist. He's not a label. Now, you can scroll down and then see recently played artists, and then you can see public playlists. Some of them he created and some he follows. So like he created Protests, I think. Yes, there's only 3 songs on there. No one follows it. He has these 50s playlist. 1 follower he created. But he's also following the Rolling Stones 100 Greatest Guitars of All Time. That was created by Rolling Stone. 37,000 followers. Again, that was created by Rolling Stone. So if I click on Rolling Stone, that's a user. It's a verified user, not an artist, but they have almost 700,000 followers, and they created a lot of playlists. They have, some of them have a few hundred followers, some of them have a few thousand followers. They are kind of becoming a playlist network themselves. They just create a ton of playlists. Anybody can create playlists. Now, here's the thing. I encourage everyone, this is going to be part of the homework. So everyone, I want everyone this week, this is task number 1, everybody this week, create, if you haven't already, create a Spotify playlist, okay? And call it something fun, creative, that is in your style of music. And so if you're doing singer-songwriter stuff, it's in that style. If you're doing, hip hop, it's in that style. If you're doing soul R&B, it's in that style. That's the playlist. So let me give you an example. So the playlist that I created, because I've already done this, if you search my name, Ari Herstand, on Spotify, and you scroll all the way down, you'll see my playlist. And I've created a playlist called Low Volume Funk. And currently there's 816 followers on Low Volume Funk. And the reason I created Low Volume Funk, even though all my Ari Herstand releases to date are not funk, or soul or R&B, it's because I'm launching this funk band and I'm launching kind of a funk soul R&B project. And so this is kind of in advance of that. So now why I called it Low Volume Funk was because that's off of a Wolfpack term, basically. And they call things that are hip low volume, in like Wolfpack fans do that. And so I decided that I was going to target Wolfpack audience to promote this playlist. And we're going to talk about, you're going to have to find audiences to promote your playlist in. But what I want you to do to create this playlist, I want you to put, to start with 25 songs. Put 25 songs on this playlist that you're creating, and don't put your song on there yet. But just don't include any of your music. You're just creating 25 songs this week. And what we're gonna do is actually we're gonna create a doc in the I'm gonna put this actually right here. Let's see here. I'm going to put it in the Money and Music supporting links, and we're going to create the doc. I'm going to create it actually right now just so we have it. And we're going to include everybody's playlists on this doc. So everybody should follow everybody else's playlist. So we're all going to get some followers from here, okay? This is where it starts. So we're all going to get some followers. Hey, Ari, I see you on Spotify and I'm following you. I see your albums and singles, but not your playlists. Okay, Andrew, scroll all the way down to the bottom if you're on the desktop version. So if you're on my Spotify profile, you'll see my name at the top. You'll see my top songs, and you'll see my albums except my 2014 album because that got removed by Spotify, and we'll talk about that a little bit later. And you scroll down, then you see the singles. Scroll down, then you see playlist, artist playlist at the very, very, very bottom. And then it says Low Volume Funk. If you can't find that still, which is easy, I'm just gonna send you the link, because this is what you're gonna do when you create your own. You're gonna need to have this link handy. Oh, the web version, Andrew. Yeah, everybody should have the desktop app, not the web version, because the web version is very limited. Okay. And I encourage everybody to have the Spotify desktop app, not web. So not going into a browser, so not going into Chrome or Safari or Firefox or anything like that. I encourage you to download the app on your desktop and use that exclusively because it's much more interactive and robust. So my playlist is right here. Okay, so what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna create this playlist or this doc, and what we're gonna do is we're gonna add everyone's playlist. So MIM artist playlists, and I'm gonna get to why we want to do this in a second. Whoopsies, MIM artist playlists. So let's go like this. And we'll go Ari Herstand. This should be the way that we do it. Low Volume Funk. And then it's this one. So when you add yours, I want it to look like this format. So I just created this thing here. And I'm just going to make a little note. Add your playlist links below in this format. Okay, now I'm going to share it to the, I'm going to make it editable, can edit, get shareable link, can edit, copy link, boom. Okay, so now it is in playlists, let's see here, MIM, artist playlists. Okay, so number 8 on the Money and Music supporting links sheet is going to be the doc where we add all of our playlists. Yes, holy crap, the app version is much better than the web version. Absolutely. Andrea, all right, can you create playlists on your personal account and then you have to add them to your artist profile? Okay, great question. What you should do is you should go to Spotify artists. If you don't already have an artist account, you want to go to spotifyartists.com and you want to register an account, and you want to become, you want to get your account registered first so you have an artist account that you can manage on Spotify. Now, if you've released any music on Spotify ever and you have an artist profile there, you'll be able to find it. Now, if you, I think everyone here has released at least a song. If not, that's okay. And you can do it as a user, and then you can merge these accounts later. So yeah, I was heard me typing. Yes, I just created the doc that we're all going to add our playlist to. And then we're gonna follow everybody's playlist. So if you're on Spotify, just to get this started right now, and I'll show you how this works. So right now, my playlist, Low Volume Funk, has 816 followers. So I'm gonna place this link right here in the chat. So everybody go here and follow this from your Spotify account. Christine followed it, thank you, good work. And then we're gonna see in real time, I believe this updates in real time. Mark followed already. Yep, 822. See, that's real time. So 816 was when we first started talking about it. Now we're at 822. Let's go this way. Let's see here. I'm gonna go back. Yep. Okay. So everyone's gonna follow everybody else's playlist. Now, why we're doing this is because these are what we're calling the user-generated playlists. And yes, the created by Spotify playlists are powerful, but they're basically anyone can follow any playlist and listen to any playlist. So like, we were talking about before, the French Bistro playlist. Let's go check that out. French Bistro music, created by Jim. Great job, Jim, on creating such a great playlist. And he just created this, and now he has 4,458 followers. That's awesome. And it's not just the number. Remember, these numbers can be gamed. It's not about the numbers. It's about, is this actually working? So yes, we can follow everybody's playlist, but we also want to listen to the ones that we enjoy. And then we want to share the ones that we enjoy. So I'm going to click on, so I'm on French Bistro Music since you suggested it. And if you want to follow along with me, you can just type in French Bistro in the search bar at the top on the app, on the desktop app. And I am looking at the artist. So let's look at the first artist, Mark Orton. And the title is Matthias and Chloe. Now, Mark Orton, Matthias and Chloe, has 140,000 streams on Matthias and Chloe, the song. And I'm clicking on About. And now look at this. Mark Orton with 140,000 streams on Spotify doesn't have any official created by Spotify playlist inclusions. He just has user-generated playlists, it seems. And his #1 discovered on playlist is French Bistro Music. So he has 1,100 listeners, 1,100 people that are listening to Mark Orton from French Bistro Music. And that, again, that French Bistro Music only has 4,000 some followers, listeners. So these user-generated playlists can actually move the needle quite a bit. And his second biggest playlist that he's on is Mixed Generation Party Songs, with only 3,000 followers. And that was created by Konstantina Seza. So just another user who created a playlist, and this playlist got popular. And so the reason that, can you share the doc links to share the playlist in here in the chat? Not seeing them. Oh, okay, sorry, Sonnet. Thank you for the update. Maybe I didn't hit save. I haven't added the thing. Oh, publish update. Here we go. Publishing. Okay, I think that worked. Thanks for the heads up, Sonnet. So now if you click on files, Money Music supporting links, there it is. There is number 8. But here's the doc. I'm going to share this anyways in the chat, but now it should work. Thanks for the heads up. I didn't hit publish. Now it's published. It should be there, but here's the doc that you can bookmark this page, or you can just, it's on the Money and Music supporting links on the file section on the Facebook page. It's number 8 right now. Okay, so back to Mark Orton's Spotify profile. Now, Mark Orton, I'm going to look up, so he was the, what does it say, the guitarist of Tin Hat Trio. Mark Orton. Mark Orton. Wait, did I not spell that right? Mark Orton. There we go. Okay, Mark Orton only has 1,200 Facebook likes, okay? But he has over 1 million. Gosh, it looks like, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. He's about 2 million streams or so on Spotify. So now if we do crunch the numbers again, 2 million streams times 0.005. Okay, he's made about $10,000 just from Spotify streams. Just from Spotify streams, okay? We haven't even looked at Apple Music or any of the other streaming sites, and there's not downloads or sales or merch or shows or anything. There's just Spotify streams. He's made about $10,000, okay? On just Spotify streams. And these are mostly, let's see here, and a lot of the streams, and he's only started releasing music. Well, his first album came out in 2006, but those aren't really the ones that are getting included on these playlists. The ones that are listening to are the ones from 2015, 2014. Who's the other one? He's also on the Nebraska soundtrack. He did the Nebraska soundtrack. Okay, that's interesting. That's also how people found him. That's cool. So it's coming from, these French Bistro music playlists and everything. So, and I'm looking at all this information, finding it all on Spotify right now. Okay, so let's see. 3 months to be verified on Spotify. Thought it would never happen. Okay. How long did it take to usually get Spotify? There's no longer. Oh, you know what? I think they did just remove that merge function. I merged my personal profile and my artist account, but I think they took that away. So what you want to do is you want to get Spotify artists, get there first. Now, if anybody has used DistroKid, they can verify you instantly on Spotify artists. So you can get your artist profile verified, your Spotify profile verified, your artist profile verified instantly from DistroKid. Let's see here. Yeah, and so you can get it verified instantly from DistroKid. I don't think CD Baby or TuneCore or the others necessarily have that, but it's worth hitting them up. So Mark said it took him a few months. They're speeding this process up quite a bit. Okay. Andrew, I'm listed as individual artist and as my band. I would like to start a playlist for my band. Yes, you should definitely create this playlist as your artist account. And you would create this on your Spotify artists. So register there. And it goes through this process. Now, if you don't have DistroKid, it would actually, I just thought of this, a hack. Well, I have to ask DistroKid if this is going to be possible. I don't want to tell you to do this. And a hack would be to everybody sign up with DistroKid, because then you can get verified through Spotify. But that's $20 a month, and I don't know if you have to have released a song. I'll have to ask DistroKid. So I'm not going to tell everybody to do that just yet. Yeah, go to Spotify Artists, and I've been hearing that they've been speeding this process up. So Mark said it took a few months. Mark, when did you try to get verified? Because a year ago when I was trying to get verified, it took a little while too, but I've been hearing that it speeds up a lot. I'm sorry, Jesse, no, $20 a year for DistroKid. Okay, Lucidia said it took less than 2 months for me. And when was that? Was that in the last few months, or was that a year ago? Or about a year ago? Yeah. So I've been hearing that it speeds up. So if you're not verified yet on Spotify, everyone go to Spotify Artists and fill out the application and just like try to get verified right away. Maybe we'll check in. Let's see, took us less than a week. Okay, Robin got verified less than a week. Great. Last few months, and it was instant, but I'm with DistroKid, right? Okay. Instant for me too. Now, Darren, did you get verified? Are you with DistroKid, or does it instant if you just go to SpotifyArtist.com? Oh, you're DistroKid. Okay. So if you're not with DistroKid, that was Sound Exchange. I was thinking of Spotify happened quickly. Sorry, I had two mixed up. Yeah. Oh, okay, great. So awesome. I made it. Great. Can't remember what I did, but it was quick and painless, not with DistroKid. Okay, great. So it's not just a DistroKid thing. So go to, SpotifyArtist.com. And if you're not already verified and have an account there, make one and see how quick you can get verified. And we'll talk about that, and we'll check in and check in with this. So, okay. Now, Carrie says, you don't have, so if you know songs distributed, if you have no songs distributed, I still want you to do this exercise. Do it on your personal profile. So if you don't have any songs distributed, do it with your personal profile. If you have an artist account and you have songs distributed, make this profile with your artist account, okay? And great, okay. So, okay, why we're making these playlists. These are going to be useful, and it's not just exposure. Like somebody made I don't know if that was meant to be a snide remark or what, but I saw that. I see you. It's not just for exposure. I know we die of exposure. We're talking money here, okay? I'm talking like this is gonna, Lucidius, that was you? Cool. I see you. No, this is not for exposure. This is to move the needle. Now, there's a few things that we're gonna do here. Okay, case in point. I made the Low Volume Funk playlist. It only has 800 some followers. It doesn't seem like that many, but it's a very engaged following because I made a playlist and then I targeted communities that would like this playlist. Creating the playlist is step number one. We're not just gonna create this playlist and like pray that people follow this playlist, okay? That's not what we're doing here. We're gonna create the playlist, and then we're gonna actively promote these playlists, okay? Yes, we wanna start everyone get to follow each other's playlists to just kind of get the ball rolling. But step two, okay, after you create your playlist, just use generated playlist, and it's great if you should, create it from your artist account if you can, if it's verified, and on SpotifyArtist.com, create it there. If you're not verified or don't have music distributed, create it as a user playlist, and that's fine. But I would recommend you try to get verified first, because Spotify really likes when artists create playlists. They start to prioritize and put weight on artists who actually are using their service. So if they see that you as an artist have created a Spotify playlist and that playlist is being followed, Spotify might start to add you to their stuff. To their curated playlist. Okay. Yes. Okay. Hold on. I haven't actually followed all these things yet. I've been looking. And you have to link from your personal. Okay. I think you're answering each other's questions. How do I make a playlist directly from my artist account? Yeah, Lucidia says, to your point, I made a playlist that's pinned on my profile called Gods of Hip Hop, to which I get 7,000 to 8,000 extra streams a month from. Mix of my music plus other artists in the same genre. Yes, that is great job, Lucidia. That's awesome. That's exactly what we're starting to look to do. Is once we start to get a following on these playlists, you're going to then eventually mix in your own songs that will get you some streams. So you don't want to put a bunch of your songs in from the get-go. And I'm actually recommending you not put your song in at all yet, because I want you to get a handle on how this playlist works, and to not think about your own music first. I want you to think about, now, what's really important when you're creating playlists, it's almost like mixtapes from back in the day, okay? It's like flow matters, okay? Order matters. So like when you're making a mixtape back in the day, or a mix CD or something like that, the order in which you put the songs in actually mattered. You know, you wanted, you're like, it's a vibe that you have to keep that going. So they've studied this, and if the order, if songs are jarring sitting next to each other, even if they would work on the playlist, maybe the song at 1 and 2 don't work at 1 and 2, but maybe they would work really well at 1 and 7. Listen through the playlist. So when I made Low Volume Funk, I didn't tell anybody about it. I was working on this playlist actually for about a month, just adding songs, taking songs away, listening to it, getting the flow, feeling out like, you know, what's the best order. And I shared it with some trusted friends. So this is a trusted community that we're going to share it with right now. And we listened to it, and, and I rearranged the order, and I got the flow just right. And then I went to the Wolfpack Facebook group, and it's called Wolfpack. So the band is called Wolfpack, Vulfpeck, but the fan club on Facebook is called Wolfpack, like a pack, like a wolf pack, but so PACK. And those people are super engaged. These Wolfpack fans is incredibly engaged. They are they're super, super fans. Now, I didn't just say, hey, follow my playlist. I got to know the community, this Facebook group. So I had been a member of this Facebook group for months, and I got to know the community. I was writing here and there. I was following along. I was like checking in. I was seeing what the etiquette was, what the lingo was. And I saw that everybody was saying like low volume is kind of like this hip term, and it comes from a Wolfpack song, or actually a track on one of the records where Jack says, it's low volume and it's whatever. And so people started using the term low volume as like a way to describe hip, smooth, kind of soul funk music that's not in your face. And there's conversations like, oh yeah, super low volume or whatever. So that's why I made the title of this playlist called Low Volume Funk, because I knew the community I was targeting, they would get that and like, oh, this is cool. And then I quoted in the description, I talked about, I actually quoted what Jack says in that track, and so the description. And then I paid attention to a lot of times in the Wolfpack Facebook group, people would say, hey, when you're not listening to Wolfpack, who do you listen to? And then people would write down their favorite songs, and they'd say, this is what I'm listening to. And so I took note of all the other artists that they were listening to and these songs that people would recommend and suggest. And I started adding those songs to the playlist. I'm like, oh, this is cool. This would work. This would vibe. This works. And so then when I went to the Wolfpack, and I said, I'm going to get to the question in just a second. I'm just going to finish this thought. And I went to the Wolfpack and I said, hey, I've been, based on everyone's suggestions over the last few months on what we're listening to outside of Wolfpack, I made a Spotify playlist for our community. It's called Low Volume Funk. Here you go. And then everyone was super appreciative, like, oh my gosh, finally somebody did this. Now, I've posted it twice in the Wolfpack. I haven't promoted it anywhere else. And I got 800 some followers. this just from posting it twice in the Wolfpack because it's a super engaged community. Now, how does this really move the dial? Lawrence, the band Lawrence, is one of the artists that I included on the Spotify profile. I'm sorry, Spotify playlist, this low volume funk playlist. And the band Lawrence, I mean, they're a touring act. You know, they bring in, they're starting to get up there, but they're still, you know, touring clubs. I think they bring like maybe 500 in New York, but they're only bringing maybe 100 or less or 2 or less everywhere else they go. I mean, they're road dogs right now. Clyde Lawrence, the lead singer, Facebook messaged me out of the blue, and he said, he's like, Ari, yo, I just want to thank you for including our song on this on the low volume funk playlist. We've actually had a few people come up to us at shows saying they discovered us on the low volume funk playlist, and that's why they're here at the show. And so they became fans of the band because of the inclusion on this playlist. So you're going to gain fans from it. They're also gaining streams because of it. And like Lucidia said, what you're going to do down the line is you're going to actually you're going to promote these playlists in various communities. So I chose the Wolfpack Facebook group first. I'm going to now start to hit, and I encourage everybody to find Facebook groups of your genre. Okay, so this is now step 2. So step 1 is, well, I guess step 0.5 is get your Spotify artist profile verified if you have music released on Spotify. Okay, try to get your Spotify artist profile, spotifyartist.com, and yes, there is an app. Thank you for mentioning that. And so you can check up the app on the app. There's a mobile app on the app store. So it's Spotify for Artists mobile app, but you can also do spotifyartist.com. And let's see here. Probably one and the same. I'm a newer, so I had to connect it to the used account. Maybe one and the same. Yeah. So thank you for that link, Robin. So you can check that out. And Tamara had a question. Lucidius, did you promote your playlists? I know you have a big Facebook following, so I'm assuming you kind of went there. My playlist, I haven't posted my playlist at all, and I should, but I have the extra 7,000 listeners a month just from pinning the playlist on my Spotify profile, which means right. Okay, cool. Yes, and you can definitely pin the playlist to your top of your Spotify profile, which is saying, so once you're verified and you are able to edit these playlists, you can then pin anything. You can pin a playlist to the top of your profile. You can pin a song. You can pin an album. You can pin someone else's song. You can pin someone else's album. So Lucidius has been pinning the playlist at the top of his profile, and that's great. Okay, so step 0.5 is get your Spotify profile verified. Step 1 is to create this playlist and add it to the doc, which I just put on the files section in the Facebook group. And then step 2 is to then make a list. And now this is on your own, and we're not going to make this a shared list just yet, because this could get awfully confusing. Actually, you know what? Yeah, because I want us to do this over the next few months on our own, and then we'll come back together and we'll talk about this. But I want you to make on your own a list of Facebook groups that are communities of people who would like this playlist. Does that make sense? So these aren't musician communities necessarily. These are communities of people who would like it. So fan clubs of artists who would like this. So if you're going to promote this in a fan club of an artist, then it would be smart to start off your playlist with that artist, and then the rest can be other artists, because then you can say, hey, you know, I've created this playlist based on songs that we all like. And of course, it starts with the artist that everyone is there for, which is that one. So that's why I started the low volume funk playlist with a Wolfpack song. And you can and you should be. Here's another big point, and this is recommended for now that you're going to be creating playlists. Update this playlist. Try to update it every week, because then it'll say, this isn't just a hit it and leave it kind of thing. It'll say, actually, I don't know if it does it on the desktop app. Look on the mobile app of Spotify, but it'll say when the playlist was updated. And if the playlist is constantly being updated, it looks fresh and people want to follow that. So I'm looking at this French Bistro, since that's what we're on right now, French Bistro. I'm looking at it on my mobile app. Let's see here. Yeah, and it was last updated August 20th, 2016. So Jim hasn't actually updated this playlist in a year and a half, so it's becoming stale. So people that have been listening to this playlist, you know, okay, for dinner music, that's cool. It's a good go-to and you can pop it on. But for other playlists, like a perfect example, the Fresh Finds playlist on Spotify. So Fresh Finds, if you search Fresh Finds, that's has almost 600,000 followers. That's updated every week. So you'll see that this one was updated October 31st, 2017. So last week. So this is updated every single week, and that's why people are staying engaged with it. So a way to get your followers to grow on this playlist is to keep updating it. Because then when people look to see how new it is, they're like, oh, this is cool. They're including new music on this thing. It's constantly being updated. So I encourage you to add a new song every week or so. So, and obviously at the start when you're just kind of creating, you're rearranging songs, like for the first few months when I didn't tell anybody about my playlist, I was like taking songs in and out and just like rearranging them. But once you have a really good order and a good playlist set, keep it preset, because you know it's working, but then you can move like you can add songs in. I don't think I've actually removed any songs. I started with 25 and now I'm at about 50, I think, on low volume funk or so. I don't think I removed any. I've changed one out. So I started with this different Wolfpack song and then I just swapped it out. But I would encourage you to keep the songs, the ones that are working, and then you can include new ones there. But you can experiment with this. I mean, this is kind of the Wild West here. Like everyone is figuring out what's working every day. Okay. So, and then you're going to make your own list, like we talked about, make your own list of Facebook groups that you can promote this playlist in, people who would like this kind of music. So fan clubs of the artists, or fan clubs of that style of music. So if it's a more unique style, like I don't know if Jennifer's here today, so like there's probably Celtic Facebook groups. There's hip hop Facebook groups, there's, you know, genre groups, or there's like EDM communities, or there's even like, you know, skater communities. So if like there's music like communities of people who would like it. So if you do, you know, if you're doing some more punk stuff or some like harder kind of metal stuff, and maybe some skater communities would be into it, or if you're doing like, if you're doing, if you're in a jam band, or, you know, then it might be worth targeting the, like communities that are all about weed. I don't know, you know, there's like different communities that you can find. And Mark's like, oh God, you know, it's like, well, whatever, there's Facebook groups out there for sure. It's legal in California and Colorado and most other states. So whatever, you know, you find the communities. It's not just about music. It's not just about the fan club of that. So, and Mark, yes, what I'm recommending is not to include your own song just yet, because I want you to get a solid following first and then include your songs. Because I don't want people to look at it and see your name and then look at the playlist like, oh, they just created it to promote their own music. I want it to be like, you've created this playlist that's going to benefit the community. And then once you have some solid numbers, that's when you start to slip in your own songs. And then now that you have supporters and followers of this playlist, then they're going to start to listen. And then you slip in, just like you add a new song every week, one week you'll add your own song. And then you'll find the right place for it. I recommend closer to the top so it gets more streams, more listens, because people typically tend to listen straight down. Like, yes, anybody can hit shuffle on a playlist, but most people Spotify studies this stuff. Most people are listening straight down. And when is a reasonable or good time to add our music in numbers wise? I would say, let's say after you hit 100 followers, add your own music in. So let's set that number at 100. So 100 followers, very attainable, very doable. I got, I think 400 followers just from the first time promoting this playlist in the Wolfpack within a couple weeks. So it's not going to be that difficult if you find the right communities. Now, again, don't promote this playlist too soon. Like, yes, this week, I want you to create this playlist if you're verified on Spotify. Yeah, I have 500 to 600, so I put mine in. Cool, perfect. Yeah, so now this week, yes, if you have a verified Spotify artist account, I want you to create a playlist. But now I want you to, over the next few weeks, make it the best playlist you can. So don't promote it anywhere other than our doc, because we're just going to follow everybody's playlist. Don't promote it anywhere yet until you get it right. And once you feel it's right, once you start listening down, now this is a playlist I want you to be driving to. I want this to be your favorite playlist for the next month. This is the only thing you're listening to. Well, I'm sorry, this isn't the only thing you're listening to because you need songs to add there. So your sole intention this next month is to create the best playlist. So basically a good thing that you could be switching between is listening to your playlist down once you have the solid 25, and then also listen to your Discover Weekly and your New Music Monday. So what Discover Weekly and New Music Monday is, if you go to your browse section on the mobile app, top left is your Discover Weekly, and that's basically based on songs that you've been listening to the last week. It recommends similar songs. So if you've been listening to your playlist down, it's going to recommend similar songs, so it'll help you discover new songs. But also, you can go to, where is this? Browse. Wait, no, not browse. Is it home? Let's find this stuff. Oh, yeah. On the home page, if you go to Made For You, it's just below that. And then you have Discover Weekly right there, which you can find on the homepage or on the browse section. But then you have your daily mixes. So that's also songs that you've been listening to, and then but similar ones that they plug in together on those mixes. And then you can always listen to similar artists. So if you pick an artist, you can go to their Spotify profile, either on the desktop app or on the mobile app. But on the desktop app, they show 10 similar artists. And you can just type in their name, and then you can see the 10 similar artists on the right-hand side, so you can start listening to them. So your sole focus for this next month is to get make the best possible playlist. And then listen to that playlist to create the best order and find, oh, this song really isn't working. This isn't flowing. This doesn't work, okay? So then you create this playlist. And then let's say in like a month, you should be pretty set with that playlist. And in the meantime, you're also searching for these Facebook groups, and you're creating your own doc, and you're adding the Facebook groups that you think would be good, and you're joining all these Facebook groups. So make sure you join all the Facebook groups, and you start to get the etiquette, replying here and there, responding, talking to people, posting, just being an active member of these communities. And I would recommend, let's just start with 5. That's pretty manageable. And let's start with 5. And yes, Lucidius, great question. What do you recommend the picture of the playlist to be? Now, if you don't upload a playlist photo, it's just going to show the top 4 songs, their album covers of the number 1, 2, 3, 4 songs. I definitely recommend uploading an image. Now, to give you inspiration, go to the browse section on Spotify and just see what the other playlists look like. And it's typically an artist promo photo with like a color or something. So that's what I did on mine on Low Volume Funk. I put Wolfpack there because clearly that was a community I was targeting, and I made it in purple, and I gave it a purple haze. And so I made it kind of look like a official like Spotify playlist. That's the etiquette now on Spotify creating playlists, is to put an artist profile or an artist photo, and then kind of like a color. And so that's like the color scheme. So that's what I recommend for your photo. Okay. So now, just to rehash, you're going to you're going to register, get Spotify artist verified. Then you're going to create a Spotify playlist from your artist account. Then you're going to listen to this playlist and start to add new songs and find through Discover Weekly and everything the best songs in the best order over the next month. And meanwhile, you're going to find 5 Facebook groups to join that are going to be good, that are communities of people who would like the music on this playlist, whether it's fans of some of the artists, whether it's, communities of just people who typically, have those kinds of music tastes, that kind of a thing. Okay. Christina, like an artist that's in the playlist. Yeah, so how I did this, I have Photoshop, but you can do this on Canva online or any photo editing or image editing program that you use. You can do this online. I think Sonnet uses Canva, I believe. Yeah, Canva, that's it. So you just put the promo photo, and copyright issues with using other people's images. Great question. If it's a promo photo, you're going to be fine. So I wouldn't if you go to their website or their Facebook profile, and you see their promo photos, they're asking people to use these photos. They're the official promo photos, so you're not going to run into issues with that. So use their official promo photos. And then all you need to do is just you put you add. So this is how I do it on Photoshop and Canva. I'm assuming it's similar. Is you just add a new layer and make that a solid color. You just select, just add the color to this new layer, put that on top of the other photo, and then you bring down the opacity of that top color layer, and so you see through that color to the profile picture. That's how I did it. That's how kind of they're mostly doing. That's the easiest way to do it. It's quick. Okay. So, and then once you have these 5 Facebook groups, and over the next month or 2, depending on how active you are in these groups, get to know the communities, interact, get the lingo, get what people are talking about. And then in a month or 2 is when you're going to start promoting these. And by promoting it, I can't tell you exactly how to promote it, because it's based on the etiquette of that community is how you're going to promote it. So like I said, for the Wolfpack, I titled it Low Volume Funk. And then I used the terminology saying, I knew that people have been suggesting songs over the past couple months. So I said, based on your suggestions, I've made a playlist, of these songs. So you need to just see what the etiquette is of these communities. Okay, let's see here. And you'll promote it that way. All right. So that's one assignment. Just creating these playlists, getting your Spotify accounts verified. Now, getting back to the Spotify playlist conversation, we are in category number 2, and we were on user-generated playlists. So now we're all going to be creating user-generated playlists. But this is the category. Julianne, any disadvantage to using fan groups you're already establishing as a fan? No, it's great. If you're already in fan groups, awesome, even better. Then you've already understood the etiquette and you're already members of that. So if you're already members of these fan clubs, perfect, you're ahead of the game. Okay. So now what we're also going to be doing, so that's separate, this creating our own playlist to build up our own playlist to then insert our own songs into later on. That's one strategy that we're going to utilize. But another one is we're going to get try to get our own songs included in Spotify playlists based on our own work. So like I said before, okay, if you don't have a manager or a distributor or a label who is pitching your music to Spotify directly to get considered for the Created by Spotify playlist, you can still get on playlists and you can do it yourself. Now, just to touch on the category number 1 of the created by Spotify playlist, there are some distributors who will pitch. CD Baby is not one of them. DistroKid doesn't pitch. TuneCore doesn't pitch. Most of the standalone distributors for everybody don't pitch your music because they have tens of thousands, not hundreds of thousands of artists. They can't pitch you. They can't pitch everybody to Spotify. But the more exclusive distributors like AWOL or STEM or Ingrooves or The Orchard. Now, I reviewed AWOL and STEM as part of my digital distribution comparison article, and they were, I think, them and let me double check here. If you just go to aristake.com, you can see this digital distributor comparison. I believe those are the only two, I don't want to be mistaken here, that actually pitch Spotify playlists. And I'm going to look here. In-house playlist plugger. AWOL with approval, Fresh Tunes, Horace does, Lander, Root Note, STEM, and then Symphonic by Request. But really, it's not open to everybody. So if you're going to use one of these distributors that has an in-house playlist plugger, I wouldn't use them unless they say, yes, we will pitch you, because everything is by approval only. Okay. Andrea, for those who don't have a merged user and artist profile, I would create the playlist from your artist account. You can create it from your artist account. You just go into Spotify artists and you can do it that way. I believe you haven't found it. Okay. Let me see how to create artist playlist on Spotify. Here we go. Switch personal playlist to artist playlist, Spotify community. Here we go. It's from a couple months ago. Is there a way to transfer this playlist, including its followers, to my artist account? Please let me know. Solution. Verified before artists that apply. Artists who have been verified before that have gotten their user profile merged with the artist page. User profiles and artist pages are no longer being merged because it's now possible to verify an artist page, featuring a playlist on it, uploading over images. Wait. Okay, what was the solution? That didn't give us a solution. Let's see here. Oh, here's how it works. Create a new playlist in Spotify, build a playlist adding songs. When you're ready to post the playlist to your profile, artist play and choose your, go to profile and click the plus under artist playlist and choose your new playlist to remove playlist from your profile. If you don't have access to. Oh, okay, I think that's what it's saying. Go to profile, click the plus under artist playlist and choose your new playlist. Try that. That you can pin. So you can pin it to your profile, and that's, yeah, you can definitely pin it to your profile. You can pin anything to your profile, whether it's a playlist you created or somebody else created, or a song you released or someone else released. The benefit of creating it by your artist name is because it'll say created by your artist name, and then people can click that and see your artist account. So like we were looking before, when we were looking at, like, let's pick an artist. Let's see here. I know Matt Nathanson had been doing this for a while. He's the first I thought of. So if you click on Matt Nathanson's account and you scroll down to his playlist, I like music more than I like people playlist, 7,000 followers, created by Matt Nathanson. It says created by Matt Nathanson. When I click it, I can click view discography. Now, maybe it's because he created this beforehand, and this might be a new thing, Andrea. So it might just be, but I know that they're still encouraging artists to create their own profiles. So this might be something to ask the Spotify customer support if we can't figure it out. So Google around a little bit for it. And then you might want to ask Spotify. I would spend a little bit more time Googling around for this. I feel like this is a question that everybody has, because since the recent switch over where they're now doing verified accounts and they're not merging accounts anymore, things have changed. I'm not exactly sure. Yeah, ask their support, because I've emailed their support a few times and they're pretty good. So they should be able to help you with that. Okay, so getting back to the okay, we're going to be pitching also. We're going to be pitching Spotify user playlists. So we're not going to be pitching the official Spotify playlist editors, but we are going to be pitching Spotify user category 2. These are playlists. These are user-generated playlists. These are user playlists, okay? So, oh, did Robin send something? Creating playlists as an artist. Did we solve it? Yeah, click that link and check it out. Okay. Okay. User-generated playlists. So I, and you, and anybody who creates a playlist can add whatever songs they want. So a friend came to me and like, hey, this song would work really well in low volume funk. I listened to it. I'm like, yeah, it does work really well. I added it to low volume funk. That's how it works with somebody like me who only has 800 followers on my playlist, and somebody like Jim who has 4,458 followers on his French Bistro Music, and someone who has a bunch more followers too. So now what I want to do, now this might not work, but let's just see. Okay, how do we pitch these users who we don't know? Glad you asked. All right, now if everyone will go to the Facebook group, our Facebook group, and click on the Money Music supporting links, and then click on playlist sheets. It's number 7. I'll let everybody get the time to do that. Actually, what I want to do, I'm going to add a column here. Add, insert one left, last updated. Okay. Now that we're all there, hopefully, yes, I see a bunch of you are now on this doc. Okay. Now, this is what we're going to do. We are going to find user-generated playlists that we can find contact information for, and we're going to add them to this doc. So let's just do it, and let's just go through this process because someone recommended French Bistro Music. We're going to do it with Jim Tierjohn. Okay, but first, before I add them to the doc, how we find these people. Most Spotify users have signed into Spotify via Facebook. So most Spotify users' profile picture is their Facebook profile picture. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to look at, okay, let's all just do this together. We're going to go to French Bistro Music playlist. We're going to click on, so now we're back to the Spotify app. So you have both of these windows open right now. You have the doc open and then the Spotify app. We're on French Bistro Music. You can search that. Created by, remember that, Jim. Okay, we're going to click on Jim. Now, we see his profile picture right there. It's him holding his dog. And Jim Tierjohn. Okay, so now I'm going to go on Facebook and I'm going to search Jim Tierjohn. Tierjan. And I'm going to just search people. Look at that. Everybody do this. Everybody do this. Oh, wish you could see my desktop. Okay, should I just share my screen so you can see me doing this? Okay, let me share my screen. I'll just share this. Okay, this is going to be a lot easier because some of you are not on the computer. Share screen. Let me know. I'm going to share. Can I just share everything? Desktop 1. Maybe that's it. Let me know if you can see all this. You see my screen now? Okay. Yes, I think you can. Let me just check out the chat. I can't see the chat. I don't know where that went. All right, so what I did, I went to, here we are, French Bistro Music. So if you're just on the homepage of Spotify right now or whatever, you can just search on top left, French Bistro Music. Okay. And here's the playlist right here. You can all see this, right? I want to make sure that, where's the chat? Oh, there we go. Okay. Here we go, chat. Yes, you can see it. Okay, great. Okay, great. All right, French Bistro Music. Now I'm going to click on Jim. Here's his user profile. Jim, here's his profile picture. Okay, and then I'm going to go over to Facebook and I'm search his name, Jim Tier John, which I just did already. And look at that. Look at that picture. Doesn't that look familiar? That's the same Jim Tier John. I'm glad this worked out. Otherwise, this demonstration would not have been great, and we would have tried somebody else. So then what we do is, I'm not going to do this now, but what you would do is you would add him as a friend, click Add Friend, and then send him a message. And the message would be, and why you want to add him as a friend, because if you don't add him as a friend and you just send him a message, those messages go into the connection requests or something, which nobody ever sees. See, look at all these messages shit that I've gotten that I didn't even realize, because no one looks at this thing here. These are like the main thing. There's like my main message window that of my friends, and then this is just the other window. It used to be called other, now it's called connection requests or something like that. I don't know. So you want to add him as a friend, because then once he accepts your friend, then he'll see your message. Otherwise, he may look at that. Some people have found this connection request and can see it. I found it like a few months ago, and I started responding to people, but I rarely look at that. So anyway, send a message. You say, you know, it'd go like, "Hey Jim, love the French Bistro music." What was it? French Bistro Music, right? Yeah, French Bistro Music playlist, Spotify playlist you created. I put it on for all my dinner parties. Thank you for that. For it. I'm an artist, and I think my song maybe would fit really well on this playlist. Would be honored if you considered including it. You go to your page, and let's do maybe. Here it is. So I'll just do it here. So you go to your profile, and then you grab the link to your song. Oh, right, because my album got ripped down. Maybe he's not there. So let's do the song Home Tonight. So then I go to Home Tonight, and I click the three dots, and you go share, copy song link, and I go into this, and I go like here, paste the link. Up, look what Spotify does. I mean, Facebook does. It's right there, boom. Keep this link though, right there. Don't delete it. Keep it here, but look at that. You can play it right in the browser. Thanks. Or thanks, Jim. Ari. That's the message. Cool. So do you want me to share this, or you guys got it? Here's just the message that I Share it if you just want to use that as an example. It's right there. Okay, that would be the message that I sent. And I feel like I just, okay, so that good? Everybody good? Stop sharing. Okay, sweet. Screenshot it. Great, perfect. Okay, there it is. So, and I think, Tamara, you said this has worked for you. Also, once you accept your friend, just send another message with the period. Oh, that's a great suggestion, Tamara. Once he accepts your friend request, just send another message with the period. So he sees your first message. Brilliant. Look at these Facebook hacks that we're sharing here. Sometimes they remove the pic or switch it, so then you have to study their face. That's true. You can change your profile pic. Okay. Jim's birthday's coming up. Okay, wish him a happy birthday on the second. Okay. So, but what we're gonna do here, so now that we've done this is what we're gonna do, but we're creating a master list. This isn't just for us. So now we go back to this playlist doc. I'm gonna share my screen again just so we can do this together, because I wanna just show you how that we're gonna do it. Basically, share the screen. Okay, so then we go to this doc. Oops. And we go to playlist name. Let's just do French Bistro Music. Creator name, Jim. What was that? French Bistro Music. Jim, T-I-R-G-A-N. T-I-R-J-A-N. J-A-N. Follower number, 4,459. 4,459. Genre. Help me out here. I haven't listened to it. Is it jazz? Who's recommended this playlist? Tamara? Somebody recommended it in here. Give me all right, let's just call it, oh, jazz. It has Janelle in it. Yeah. Okay, let's call it, oh, did I write 45,000? Sorry. Wait. What are we at? 4,459. 4,459. Great. Genre. Let's call it jazz. Jazz is so broad. Let's do jazz is too broad. Let's do dinner jazz. I don't know. We can even do a few here. Dinner jazz, smooth jazz, vocal driven jazz. I'm just guessing here. You can help me out if you have a better one, but we got Madeline Peru, we got Edith Piaf, Mark Orton, I think it's just guitar, so maybe it's not vocal driven. Oh, Billie Holiday. Yeah, okay. Either way. Last updated date. How we find this. Now, what you can do, there's a way to do it on this, is you can click on this button right here. See this one? This is the last updated date. And it's, no, that's not correct. I guess it is. No, that's not correct. There it is. Yeah, you click it. Okay. 8/28/2016. You see that? That's the last time he added something. 8/28/16. Now, if you're on your phone, you can see it actually a lot easier, and it's on the if you're on your phone mobile app, you can just it's at the very top, and you just swipe over, and it says the last updated date. Why we want the last updated date? Because if this guy's not updating it very often, let's see, creator contact. So we found him Facebook, Jim Tirjan. Now, if we couldn't find him on Facebook, you can do some more searching. You can look at him on Twitter. You can look at him on LinkedIn. You can find him on email. Now, and this is the creator name, because sometimes if it was created by a playlist network, like a blog or a playlist network or a label or something like that, the creator name might not be the person's name. It might be like we had before, Let's just do filter. Wait a minute. Is that it? Filter. There we go. All right, it's not the artist. It is the, here we go. Profiles, filter US. 978,000 followers on this playlist network. And look at all the playlists they have. All these playlists. Look at all these. This is crazy. So if you had a contact at one of these, we would call this, you know, filter, because any one of these, let's just look at this party anthem, created by Filter US. So it'd be like Filter US, and da 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 da. And then creator contact, we need their name and with their thing. Okay. Now, everybody, great. Okay, I'm gonna stop. Here we go. Look at that. Perfect. All right. Does that make sense to everybody? All right. I am going to take 5 because I've been drinking a lot of water and I gotta pee. I'll be right back.
Hey, take us off screen share. Oh. Thanks, Ari. Hey, what's up, guys? What's up, Black Sheep? Hey, Bronwyn, how come your thing's all dark? What's going on over there? Having a blackout?
I have electrical tape over my camera.
I usually have tape over my camera, but I'm trying to. Yay!
There.
Hey, I do tape my camera.
I just forgot to take it off because I wasn't looking at myself this time.
Now I'm listening to French Bistro. No, even Mark, Facebook, whatever, camera's over, so.
Yeah.
It's a real thing.
You're inside today. What's the deal?
No, I've been working on this smoothie for like an hour. Actually, I think I've been working on this smoothie for like 2 hours. Have we been on the call for 2 hours?
Almost, yeah. It's like 2:50.
It took me 2 hours to make this. Thank God I was doing something else too. I'm going.
Are there jalapenos and tomatoes in your smoothie right now?
Talking smoothies. Amazing.
Beets and anyway.
All right, cool guys. All right, here we go. So let's see here. Oh, and Fred was saying, I love your play. Yeah, you know, you can kind of customize the message however you feel it fits your personality and how you want to make that message. But that's basically, you know, the style of how we can do it. Okay, so oh, and notes. This is this section at the last of the doc. What else I put for notes? So say Jim, actually I'm gonna just share my screen real quick one more time just so you see what I'm doing. Okay, so like you could write in here, Jim was really receptive. He added my song, or let's say he got back to me right away and added my song that day, or something like that. That didn't actually happen, so I'm going to delete this. We'll do this. And then actually what I also want to do, I'm going to add in here added by. Whoop. What happened there? Oh, shoot. How did that happen? I don't know. Okay, added. And then you put your name here. All right, so pop this up here. Okay. Delete that. So then I would put Ari, or so you put my name. You put your name, who added this one. So we're gonna fill this, we're gonna fill this doc up, and I wanna just get this going with as many playlists as we can. This is gonna be our own network, and so then whatever genre you're in, you'll go down here and you'll pick the ones that work for you, and you know, we can start contacting these people. Let me stop sharing. There we go. Okay. Yeah, thanks. I pushed enter that. Yeah. Okay. Okay. So that category number 2, user-generated playlist. This is how we can pitch users on our playlists. And here's the thing. Because if you get included on enough user playlists, your songs will start to get a lot more streams. Like Lucidius was saying, he's getting 7,000-8,000 streams, extra streams, because of being included. He put himself on this playlist that people follow. So absolutely, you know, this can help move the needle. And what also happens, now we're getting into category 3 of Spotify playlists. Category 1 was created by Spotify. Category 2 is user-generated. Category 3 is algorithmically generated playlists. Spotify is moving towards algorithms hard. What algorithmically generated playlists are like the Discover Weekly, like I was just talking about. That Discover Weekly, it's customized per user. So that was like if you go to your homepage or you go to your browse section, that Discover Weekly right there, that's different for every single user. No two people have the same Discover Weekly, and it's based on songs that you as a user have been listening to, and then they suggest songs to you. If and how Spotify considers songs for those, it's totally automated and totally automatic. It's through their algorithms. If a song is getting, I think the last I heard was 700 streams a week, it gets considered for Discover Weekly. So if your song has gotten 700 streams this week, most likely next week it's being considered for Discover Weekly. That's the threshold. So once you pass that, so maybe it has to be a few weeks in a row that you're at least 700 to 1,000 or something like that. That's what the last I heard. The number could be slightly different, but it's basically how it works. If any song that is getting significant numbers on a weekly basis will be considered for Discover Weekly in Spotify. Now, if you get included on Discover Weekly, now that means that they're sharing you with users who are listening to songs similar to yours. And now if users interact well with songs similar to yours, meaning they save it on their own profile. So they're listening to their Discover Weekly, your song comes up, and like, oh, I like this. And they go on the song and they click save. That is huge for Spotify. They're studying that. And if you get a lot of people saving your song, then you jump another tier. And then this tier will be into other Spotify playlists that you'll add it. Lucidia says, I have 7,400 listeners on Discover Weekly and about 13,000 extra streams a month from that. Exactly. So you want to get included on this Discover Weekly. It can be really, really powerful. And then if enough people respond really well to your streams on Discover Weekly, to your song rather on Discover Weekly, it can jump another tier. And then you'll get looked at for other playlists on Spotify, official playlists on Spotify. So now, like now the ones we're looking at created by Spotify. So even if you don't have somebody pitching you, you can get considered for other playlists. If you start to be doing really well on Discover Weekly, you'll start to go, I look at it as like a pyramid of playlists. And at the very bottom are all the playlists that have very few followers. So from 0 to like 1,000 followers, these are all these playlists. There's a ton of them. Low volume funk would be included in that. That's 800 followers, you know. But then you get up the pyramid, there are fewer playlists that have from 1 to 20,000 followers. That's in this next level. You jump up, there are a few playlists that have from 20 to 100,000 followers. You get up the pyramid, there's fewer playlists from 100 to 500,000 followers. You get up the pyramid, there's fewer playlists that have 500,000 to 2 million followers. And you get up and up. And the very, very tippy top of that pyramid is today's top hits. And that is the playlist on Spotify that has today's top 17.7 million followers. That is the #1 followed playlist on Spotify, today's top hits. So that's the top of the pyramid. So this is this pyramid. So if you do start to do well at this bottom here, you get on Discover Weekly, and it's people start saving your song. You might get bumped up to this level of playlists, and they might get included. Or you may even hop up a couple tiers and get included on a playlist with 2 million, or something like that. So Lucidius asks, level ups are based on streams will bump you up automatically? Not necessarily, because a lot of not every playlist is algorithmically generated. So Discover Weekly is algorithmically generated. Fresh Finds is also algorithmically generated. So Fresh Finds, to get included on Fresh Finds playlist, that's a playlist we were looking at before. So if you look at Fresh Finds, I'm going back to share my screen. Here we go, share screen. I like this feature. I should have been doing it all day. Okay, Fresh Finds. Fresh Finds. And there's actually a bunch of different categories. So Fresh Finds main one, Fresh Finds Subtronics, Fresh Finds Basement, Fresh Finds Emoji. Anyway, Fresh Finds. This is the main one. They update this every week. Look at that, 6 days ago. Every song was added 6 days ago. And these are new songs. So how this playlist works. Oh, interesting. And they show you who the cover artist is. How this playlist works is if enough. So, okay, Facebook is monitoring tastemaker accounts. So here's the Fresh Finds playlist. And just to see what's up with this, the power of this, let's just click on Colleen, this artist, and that song, The Stars versus Creatures. Is that the one that was on there? I think that was it. So that's her new song that was released October 19th. Stars vs. Creatures. Song was added to Fresh Finds 6 days ago. Yep. And it has 61,000 streams, most likely within the last 6 days from this Fresh Finds playlist, unless, let's see if she's on any others. See, look, that's the biggest one, Fresh Finds for her right here. Indie folk. Let's see, Colleen here. Colleen. Oh, different song. So that she's really getting this bump from this Fresh Finds stuff here. It's Alternative Atmospheres. Let's see with this one. Colleen. Oh, she has 2 songs in this one. So they're giving her some love. Oh, and she's on another Fresh Find. So this is another genre, Cyclone. And see how this says serviced by Spotify Tastemaker listeners? Now what that means, what this Tastemaker listeners means. Okay. Let's see what song it was actually. Colleen, different song actually. Okay. So how this Fresh Finds playlist works. Now Fresh Finds, okay. Fresh Finds is another algorithmically generated playlist, and how it works is Spotify is monitoring user accounts that they deem tastemakers. Any one of us could be a tastemaker and we don't know it. I could be a tastemaker, you could be a tastemaker, we don't know. What they're doing is they're looking at user accounts who listen to music consistently that then breaks a little bit later. So a song that like turns into a hit or at least blows up a little bit, a month after you listen to it, if you keep doing that consistently, or you're like a tastemaker. You keep listening to songs before they break, before they blow up. Then Spotify monitors your account as like, this person has their finger on the pulse. They know where the trends are going. They know, they tend to find music first. So I've heard that they're monitoring about 50,000 tastemaker accounts in the Spotify network. We don't know who they are. And if enough of them listen to the same song the same week all at once, that song gets automatically added to a Fresh Finds playlist, or at least it goes into a pool of these new songs that then the Fresh Finds playlist editor will then select. So they're not being pitched by any people. It's just through their algorithms, they find the list of the songs that all the same people are listening to at the same time, and boom, you get included on Fresh Finds. So let me see. Okay. So Fresh Finds is another algorithmically generated playlist. This is the category 3. These algorithmically generated. Discover Weekly. The other one was, what was that other one called? Daily Mix. Daily Mix. And then you can just, these are all algorithmically generated playlists, and these are customized for you. So to get on Discover Weekly, you need at least 700 streams a week. I believe is that what the number's at. It could be a little more, a little less. Then if you get on Discover Weekly and you start to be, step back a second. Fresh Finds. How do these tastemakers find all the same song at the same time? This is where blogs can come into play. Because even though people say, Bronwyn, 700 for song, not an artist, song. So it's 700 streams per song, because they're just looking at those songs in a week, I believe. So, okay, how do these tastemakers all listen to the same song at the same time? Typically from blogs. So I've been studying this. I've been looking at this, and I've been seeing some of my friends who get their songs included on Fresh Finds. I ask them, I go and really reverse engineer them. Like, okay, what did you do? Like, what was your promotional strategy for this single release or this album release or the song release or whatever? And more times than not, they say they got a premiere or a blog feature, rather, a feature in a pretty prominent blog, like a Consequence of Sound or a Stereo Gum or a Pigeons and Planes or something like that. Indie Shuffle. Now, more times than not, if you get a big look at a big write-up in one of these blogs, these tastemaker accounts are still reading these blogs, and Spotify playlist editors are reading these blogs too. And they're reading the blogs, and then they go and listen to the song. And then if enough people are listening to the songs in their tastemaker accounts, that song gets added to Fresh Finds. That's kind of how it works. Okay. I was planning to get into blogs this time, but the Spotify discussion was awesome. I'm going to dig into blogs next time, and then we're going to touch base a month from now on how your Spotify playlisting is going, creating your own playlist, how it's going getting your Spotify artist profiles verified, and then also I want to fill up this doc. So let's fill up this these playlist sheets. So we got one here, and let's just keep filling them up. I'll actually add mine. Low volume funk. Creator name, Aria Hurstan. Follower number, 800. Actually, let's see where we're at now. The start, I asked you to follow it. Let's see how many we added. It was at 816 at the very start. Now we are at 839. Perfect. 839. Genre, funk, soul, R&B. Last updated November 1st. Oh, let's keep it consistent. 11/1/17. Creator name, Aria Hurstan. Let's go Facebook. Notes typically adds a new song every week. Added by me. So let's just keep this going. Okay, cool. Any final questions? I think we're all good. There was a question I wanted to get to before they said, wait a minute, where are you? Cray, did you get that answered? Sorry, what's the method for discovering user-generated playlists? Just searching in the search bar for Paul Simon play. Oh, great question. So yes, discovering playlists, you can search for, let's just do this real quick, just so we can find some other playlists. But yes, Paul Simon is a great one. So let's do, I'm gonna share my screen. You suggested Paul Simon, let's start there. You can see this? Okay, let's search Paul Simon. Paul Simon. We're not clicking on artists, featuring Paul Simon. These are some playlists that are featuring Paul Simon. So this would be a way to do it. So we could click on this one, and this is a playlist he's on. Or you could go down here and click playlists and click see all. And here's one that are like, this is Paul Simon. These are actually ones I think with his name in it. But here, American Anthems, Random 70s, 90s Remix, Sting and Paul Simon. Here's all these user-generated playlists. Here's 54 followers, but you know, and let's, just so we have this on our list here, let's limit this to the follower number. Let's do, let's only include ones that have 500 plus followers. Okay? So we're only looking for playlists that have at least 500 followers. And actually, yeah. Okay. So you can do Paul Simon, or you can do mood. Let's do like, I don't know, we've done jazz already. Let's do acoustic. Okay. Scrolling down, artist playlist. Let's click on all these acoustic ones. So yes, the top ones are always going to be created by Spotify, but then you keep scrolling down. Look at this one. This was created by Joe Vong and has 376,000 followers. Look at this dude. Just a dude. Let's see if we can find him. Wait. Go out, go away. I can't see anything. Joe. What's his name? B-U-O. Boom, there it is. Did we see how easy this is? Look at that. He's right here. Oh, look at that. I've never seen this before. Holy shit. We just discovered something together. Look at this, tastemaker. He's a tastemaker. So now we know he's one of the tastemakers. I wonder, I'd never seen that before. So they labeled him a tastemaker. So this is public. This is interesting. I wonder how many, so let's see. Oh, you know what? Let's do this. This is awesome. Let's add to this doc. I'm gonna do real-time editing here. Where's this doc? Playlist sheets. Last updated. Let's add a row here. Insert one left. Taste maker. Yes, no. Jim, no. Ari, I don't think so. Low vol, no. It'd be artist. I don't know if artists, I don't think, since I'm an artist, but they also have me as my profile, so there's no tastemaker account. I don't know if they do it for artists or what, but either way, tastemaker, yes or no. Did everybody see where I found that? It's just above their name, which is cool. Tastemaker right there. And this is a good one, so I'm gonna add this. So let's do this. And then I'm gonna go. Playlist name, acoustic, lounge, chill out, and easy listening. That also can help, adding a more descriptive title. You put acoustic, these are like keywords, acoustic, chill out, easy listening in the title. Joe. Follower number 376,000. Genre acoustic. Chill. Easy listening. But what you should do is listen to it. I haven't listened to it, so I'm just going quickly, but you should listen to this so you can give us a better genre indicator. Last updated 8, 9, wait, no, 10. Oh, that's interesting. 10/3/17 it looks like. It's not actually filtering in the right order here. You can also look on the phone, but let's just say 10/3/17. So he updates this pretty frequently. He started in 2012. Wow, long time ago. But he keeps updating this. Creator contact, Joe. Facebook. Yes. Tastemaker. Okay. All right. All right. Good. Sweet. Set. Awesome. All right. Hope this was helpful. I think we made a lot of progress here. Let's start kicking ass on this sheet and the playlist sheets. And then, yeah, we'll touch base in a month, but I'll do some more check-ins for regular Q&As and stuff like that. And then next month, we'll touch base with the playlist, see how that's going, and then dig into blogs. Okay, link to the Excel sheet. Oh, yes, this sheet is in the Facebook, on the Facebook group, in the files section on the left side, and it is in well, actually both docs, the Your Artist playlist. They're all in the links. What is it called? The Money and Music supporting links, that one. So just click on that and you'll find all the information. Supporting links, thank you. All there, okay? Cool. Thanks, guys. Have a wonderful, wonderful day, and I will see you soon. Okay.